All right, we are live. I am live. I am alive. I think I'm alive. Check. Let's see. Checking my heartbeat. Yeah, I think I'm alive. Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Astronomy Daily Live. Ob-Session. It's the observing session, January 9th, 2019. All right, well, welcome, everybody. Welcome. I've got the red light out, as you can see here. I'm out under what appears to be a pretty good looking sky. Yeah, got the Milky Way popping out. I just walked out here myself. Now, the humidity is currently at 80%. Obsession, obsession. Um, by the way, I have copyrighted that phrase. It's already filed and everything. So that's a copyrighted phrase. Hey there, Chris. Nice to see you. All right, so it's clear. I don't have any ghost stories. Hey there, Bobby. Um, so I just got out here, and I need to do the sky alignment. It's still a little twilighty, right? Still a little bright out. I mean, it's sufficiently dark, right? But it's still pretty twilighty. Maybe another 15 or 20 minutes or so, and I'll be nice and dark here. So, and that'll be just perfect. It's going to take me. Well, it shouldn't. Hopefully, it shouldn't take me that long to do a sky alignment, but you never know. The universe likes to throw all kinds of things at us. So I'm going to get started with that. And so having said that, I'm going to change the camera view here and get you all set up. Get you all set up over here, looking at my screen like that. And I need to remember just to keep this red light on. That's the easiest way to do it. I don't have to turn it off. All right, so what I'm first going to do is I don't need to save any more of this stuff, but I am going to set this back to 0, and I'm going to go, well, let's see, what should I do first? Probably my first program star is what I should do, but I need to do everything else first here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set that to 3x3 binning, turn this on like that, set this to 1/10 of a second, and set the series to some insanely huge number. Come on. And we're just going to start taking images. I've set the camera to -10 degrees Celsius, and like I said, it's and I'll actually show you the my conditions here. Whoop. So there we are, 41.5 degrees Fahrenheit and 80% humidity, and it says it's going up. I looked at the front of the telescope, and it is still clear at this point, so we're good to go there. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. I need to set up WWV so I can get the time. Probably going to have to walk away here because the computer gives a lot of interference. I'll be right back. Okay, got the WWV going. Put that down. I can grab my control panel here and get this started. 2-star line. And it's going to be 19:02:00 in less than a minute. Local time. Just waiting. Here we go. Here we go. So that's set. Mountain Standard Time 01:08:19. That's my local date. And here we go. We're going to go to Capella. Capella. So hope everybody's doing well out there in the universe and the world. I'm hoping that I can get at least a little bit of data collection going here. We'll see. I'm racing humidity. I'm racing the humidity clock. Okay, I'm going to go over and turn off the radio because it's going to drive me insane, the squealing. Thank you, WWV. The moon is still up, but it's going down. So that's a beautiful thing. Love seeing the moon this time of night. All right, so let's get Capella on there. Looks like we're pretty close. Turn on my little guide scope here. Get that all ready to go. Gotta make sure I'm pointing in the right place. Why don't I see it? There it is. Should be pretty close. There it is. Okay, so I need to do something slightly different than what I have been doing, and that is I need to center this with two of my pointy arrow things, just so I know that everything's locked in. So this is bounce around a little bit, unfortunately, because I want to make absolute certain that I'm coming in the right way. So I've got to move that thing to the right or to the left, and then I've got to come back in on it on the right. So no worries, I will get this. I'm going to go up, I think that should make it go down. Oh, it's making it go up. Okay, very good. I think we're good here. So I'm going to move this guy over if I can hone in on him. I'm doing this a slightly different way, so I'll zoom in here a little bit so you can watch the antics as they go. Yeah, this is going to be tricky, but I'm going to do it. I want to come in. I want him moving to the left and moving down. So I got to move him way up, and then I'm going to get him centered like that. There's a little star right next to him. Hopefully this will slow down a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my right. Okay, very good. It's very good. A couple more. Bing, bing, bing. Should be getting pretty close. Oh, that's a little bit off, but I'm going to go with it. I want this thing to jerk down once. That's really not centered enough. Dang it. Okay, I'm going to have to do this again. As I said, I'm doing this a slightly different way, so it's going to take me a little while to learn the tricks with all of this. I'm trying to move it back up now. But in order to engage the drive correctly, okay, I think I moved it way up. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so now I'm going to tell it to move to the right, so I can lock in those gears that way. And while that's drifting down, I need to lock that in. I think that might be too far. Yeah, well, that's Capella, so it's definitely a brighty. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Bang. Okay, so now we're gonna go for let's go for Aldebaran, right next, sort of right next door. Um, should be okay. Almost the same altitude as Capella at the moment, so that makes it a little easy. And then I need to focus. Remember to focus. Okay, this is always a tricky angle. Should be kind of close. Yep, there it is. Okay, so I need to do exactly the same thing. I need to bring him up, and I want to bring him way over to the left. I really want this thing like upper left if I can do it, and then I can sort of guide it in. Even out of field, I don't really care as long as I know where it is. Okay, so it's definitely out of field. So I'm gonna move it to the right. It should sort of drift in. Oh, where are you, Bubba? Getting there, I think. I think I might have missed it. Trying. Yeah, I think I missed him. Let me get him back in the finder scope. Yeah, I moved him way too far. There he is. So now I'm gonna try to move him to the left. Get those gears engaged. See, I'm pushing it. Ah, there we go. Okay, so now I want it to go down. Ah, I went too far. Shoot. Ah, okay, I'm gonna go up a little bit and to the left. I really want that star in the upper left so I can engage my little gears properly. Oh, where'd he go? Let him drift in, hopefully. Not seeing him. He should be at the top or above the top of the screen there. Yeah, there he is. Okay, so now I'm going to engage moving right. Come on. There we go. Okay, and then engage down. Ah, it's a little too far. Should I do it? I'm going to do it anyway. Bang. Okay. So now we're tracking, theoretically. Still drifting down. Which I'm not. It's really frustrating. But as long as I can get it pretty stable, we'll be all right. Hopefully. Trying to move him up a little bit, as you can see. Okay, now let's see how stable this is. That's pretty stable. Okay. Stable enough. Stable enough. I can deal with that. Of course, there's a tenth of a second exposure, so... But, yeah. The motion in between those isn't too bad. Let me bop him up one more. And see if I can really stabilize that sucker. Okay, that's not too bad. I don't think that's too bad. Okay, so now I'm going to focus, put the Batinoff mask on. The beautiful Batinoff mask. I love this thing. And it looks almost focused. I always like to mess with it a little bit. So I want to get this long spike, right in between those other spikes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it way out, and then I'll ease it back in. Yeah, see how it's moving to the top there? So I'm going to scooch it back that away. A little bit more. A little more. It looks pretty good. I'm going to go just a tiny hair more. I think we're gold there. Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to get off of this bright star blasting the poor CCD camera with too many photons. Dropping my Batinoff mask on the ground, and I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for my first program star. I'm going to go over and look in the west just to make sure that we don't have any bright twilight left, but I think we're good. Good. I'm looking up in the sky, and doesn't look like there's any clouds. I think I'm getting some zodiacal light, which is relatively common. Looks like it goes all the way up to Mars, maybe even past Mars. So, yeah, seeing zodiacal light in as dark of a sky as I've got is pretty normal. Pretty normal. But I'm going to walk away from the camera here just really, really quick. I'll be right back. Grab my red light so I can at least see the ground. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good to go, boys and girls. So, I guess what I want to do is move to my first target star. And grab some. Now, how these observing sessions, these Obs-Sessions, are going to go is that it's going to get really boring really fast, because once I get my targets, I'm going to do probably 100 exposures, 100 1-second exposures. And in fact, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to change this to a 1-second exposure, thusly. And we can just start taking images. I need to pull up my star list. I've got it all on here now, so I don't have to mess with the stupid laptop or anything like that. So, whoop, it's the wrong. I want to open it with WordPad like that. Okay. So I've got that, and I definitely want to shoot for M77 also tonight. But I think I want to practice on some of these guys first. Okay. So I know this is hard to. Oh, you can't see it at all. So I know this is kind of hard to see. You might even be seeing sort of an interference pattern. But what I'm looking at here is a field of stars. It's a 2-degree radius field of stars, right? Centered on 4 hours right ascension and 1 degree north declination, right? So this goes from negative uh, 2 degrees down here to positive 3 degrees. Is that right? 1, 0. No, negative 1 degrees to 0 to 1 to 2. Is that right? I don't remember. I'm killing a little bit of time here. It goes all the way up to 3, right? So declination goes from negative 1 to positive 3. And right ascension, as I said, is centered on 4 hours. So, but I've converted this to degrees. So it goes from 62 degrees east to 58 degrees west. And the little red stars, which hopefully you can sort of see, like here's one, and here's one, and here's two. These are all the stars in this field of view that are 11th magnitude or brighter. And those are the ones I'm interested in. And I'm going to start with the westernmost red star, which should be, I think it's this guy right there, if I remember right. This guy right here. Okay, so what I've got is my list, and here's the right ascension, here is the declination, here's the magnitude, it's 9.43, and off I go. I'm gonna punch in the coordinates on the scope mount and get this thing rocking and rolling here. I think it's under, yeah, go to RA and deck. Okay, so 03, 5, 6, 8.4, I'll say. 0, 8.4, and then a positive 0, 0, 42, 39.8. Actually, I'll just do 40. That's good enough. And we're slewing over to it, and now I can close this, and I can open that, and get my bright stars back up, and we'll see. Now the fun begins. What I need to do is I need to find some star patterns in here that will allow me to match up my chart. Oh, wrong one. Match up the chart. So this is going to be, or this can be tricky, but we'll see how it goes here. So far, I've just seen two stars, but here's a third one. So I'm just going to sort of let this drift a little bit and see. There's 2 stars right by each other in a little triangle. Aha! Ooh, that's a nice pattern there. That's a nice pattern. Do you see this pattern of 3 stars here with this one? Ooh, let's look over here and see. Now, this is my field of view size, and it's rotated. Okay, so this is definitely not going to be easy, but I should be able to see that triangle of 3 stars. You see it right there? Yes. So let's see if I can do that. I'm looking around. I'm not really seeing a triangle of 3 stars anywhere. Let me move him. He continues to drift downward, which is annoying. But let's see if I can, let's see, we definitely should be able to get this. Oh, I think I moved him up out of the field, but I definitely remember what it looks like. So, and let me make absolute certain that this is, yeah, that's 042. I want to make sure that I'm pointing towards the right star at least. And I think I am. 0042. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because that'll help. That'll help get a little wider field of view here on the chart, because that's what I really need now, is just to figure out. So here's these 2 stars. All right. Oh, I know that you can't see that. We'll move it back over here. Sorry about that. You weren't you weren't seeing what I was seeing. So I've got 2 stars here, and then I've got that triangle of stars up out of the field of view. So that's sort of what I'm looking for. This is my target. Yeah, this is my target. So what I'm looking for is that little triangle of stars. There's a bright one and then 2 fainter ones next to it. And for some reason, I'm not seeing a triangle anywhere. I think, let me try to move this down a little. Or I'm going to move it this way and down a little bit. So I'd really like to see that triangle of stars. That's all I need, is just that little triangle. Yeah, see, there's that little triangle. Okay. So, and that's pretty faint, but we should be able to pick that up. I'm hoping that the pointing, I'm hoping that I'm in this area at least. I'm just gonna zoom out for now here so you all can see the whole thing. Hey, ERRT. Um, I'm just gonna zoom in on the whole screen here, just so you can see all the shenanigans. So here's my little triangle here. It's got a bright and 2 faints, and that's gonna. But here it is. Here it is. Yep, that's it right there. Okay. So, believe it or not, at least my theory is that this little triangle of stars right here is this. Right? Now, I know that you really can't see that screen very well, but what this is telling me is that what I need to do, let's see, I'm trying to confirm what I'm seeing on the chart with what I'm seeing on the screen. So if this is true, then these 2 stars are these 2 stars and should point to another star over here that should be pretty close to being in the field of view. Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. I'm trying to confirm this star, which actually I think might be that guy right there. Yeah. So I'm pretty close. I think what I need to do is I'm going to put this star, I'm going to zoom in here for you. I'm going to put this star sort of in the center. And if I do that, I'm thinking that I'm going to be able to see that bright red dude. So let's do that. I'm going to move him over and up. And am I still updating? Yeah. I definitely moved him up. I'm going to move over a little bit more, and that bright star should be off to the right of the field of view. And I want to make sure that I've got enough exposures here. I'm on 148. Yeah, I'm good. Yep, there he is. Okay, so there's my first target. So I'm going to sort of get him in the field of view here. Little cosmic ray there. Okay, so I'm going to move it down and to the left. I like it. Drifting over a little bit, that's okay. I'm going to try to get him pretty close to the center, since he's sort of the only one in the area. That looks pretty good. Oh, drifting. Sorry, you know, I don't have any auto guiding or anything on this. I'm the auto guider. So luckily, I can also write software to sort of compensate for the lack of guiding. So, okay, I'm going to switch to one by one binning because I've found my target, right? You can sort of see here, right? I've got a bright guy here, and that's my target. I've got this little faint guy right here, and this faint guy. They're all in a line, and that's what these are, right? Here's this red guy is the bright one. This one is this one, and this faint one is this faint one, right there. So I've got them all three right there. So now what I need to do is switch to my one by one binning, because that's my science data. And I'm going to start, yeah, I might as well just start with the autosave. Might as well. And we'll see how this goes. Now, I set it for 500. I'm definitely not going to take 500, but I am going to have to drive this thing. So there's my nice bright star there. Good. Grab my paddle and move this over. And I'm just gonna collect data here for a while. That's now comes the boring part, at least for viewers, perhaps. So it's got a lonely star. It's sort of going upwards, so I'm going to shoot him down. Let's look at this next one, and then I'll probably give it a little jerk down. Oh yeah, he's out of the field. I'm gonna give him two shots down. So my software will be able to handle this post processing. Well, hopefully he'll come back in. I know which way he was going, so I just needed to oh, he's still not in there. So I'm gonna go down a little bit more here. Seeing one, maybe a little faint star right there. There he is. So I don't want him to drift too many frames because this is junk data too. Do you see it's like a little streak? We need nice round stars. Oh, he moved out again, turkey. This is definitely the joy of data collection. It's, you know, doesn't get any better than this. if I can get Mr. Star back in there, though. Doesn't do me any good. Uh-oh. Huh, that's not right. I think I moved it too far. Ooh, that's not good. That's the wrong star. That is definitely the wrong star. Shoot. Well, not quite sure where I'm looking there. Maybe I'm way over here. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, now what did I do? I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna have to abort this though, because that's just totally wrong. Shoot. Okay, we're gonna have to go back to 3x3 binning. Turn that off. Because I lost him. And I made my screen weird. Dang it. Shoot. I don't know how to, there we go. Okay, that is definitely the wrong star. You got sort of a loop thing here. Yeah, that's these guys. Is it those guys? No, that doesn't look like it. No, that's too big. Shoot. All right, well, I'm going to have to redial in the coordinates. 0, 3, 5, 6, 0, 8.4, and positive 0, 0, 42, 40. It's all part of the fun and games here, I guess you can say. Okay, there's my little triangle again. So now I know what to do at least. I just need to put this little guy, and I know that's hard to see. Need to put him up and over before I lose him. I don't know how I lost everybody. Got to go up really quick here. Man, this tracking just sucks tonight. Okay, should be popping in. I'm gonna go up. Theoretically, up. Good. And then just move him over a little bit. He should pop in. Oh, too far. Yeah, there he is. Drifting, drifting, drifting. Do that, and then I'm going to go down. Okay, I need to move him over. This is the human touch here. So up and over, like that. Hey there, Tim. Hey there, Tom. Just getting things together here a little bit. Learning the system. Gonna move him up a little bit more. I like to put him right in the middle if I can. But, oh man, this tracking just absolutely suckaroonies. Looks like he's stable, so now I'm going to move him up a little bit. and it'll probably start flying off to the top. Now you might be wondering, why don't I just take 3x3 data? And, well, I could, but I don't have any calibrations for 3x3 data. So that won't do me any good at all. And that's just me bumping the screen there. So I'm going to change this back to 1x1 binning and turn the autosave back on. And let's continue. Hopefully it's still in there, but I won't be quite as aggressive with my paddle motions. Yeah, there he is. Pretty good tracking. Have to make sure not to move very much during the 1 second exposures, otherwise they're going to get all smeary. That's not too bad. Pretty good tracking there. Haven't seen Atta in quite a while. She sent a message over to the Discord maybe a couple weeks ago or so, and I noticed that she did a like a smiley face or something, or a thumbs up to somebody's post. But no, haven't seen or heard from her in a little while, and I sent her an email right after she told us, what she was up to with the observatory and stuff. But haven't gotten a response to that email yet. So yeah, don't really know what's up with her. And yeah, I don't know, Bobby, I don't know if that's a full-time thing or if it's just a part-time thing. I'm not exactly sure. Not exactly sure. I kind of like having these 3 stars in the same field, because one of the things that my software does, right, is it stacks. It's going to stack these images, but it also has to rotate them, because I'm going through field rotation here. And so having a couple of stars, having like 3 stars, is pretty useful. Now I'm going to have to move this down because it's drifting up. And this is where I got into trouble before, but I'm going to do it now. Okay, I'm going to go bang like that. And this next one should show it still trending upward. But the next one, hopefully, won't be out of the field. If it is, I know that I just have to go down. Let's see. Let's see how good my driving is here. Yeah, that's all right. Good. That's a pretty reasonable spot. Because as I said, I'm picking up all 3 of those stars, and when these things are stacked, they'll pop out. The chart that I showed you there shows I think the faintest stars on there are 15th magnitude. So it's drifting up a little bit again. I think if this one is drifting upwards, I'm going to give it another bang down. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to give it one shot down. And the next thing I'm going to do is put my gloves on because it's starting to get a little chilly with the hands. Okay, so that one drifted out, but I'm hoping that this next frame it'll pop back in. Hoping. Hope springs eternal. Nope, it didn't, so I'm going to bop it again. Bop. So these frames my software will just ignore, or it'll throw it out, because obviously there's nothing to, or not much to see, at least. Come on, baby, we need you back. Yes, I talk to stars. In fact, there's a song, right, called Baby Come Back. Baby Come Back. Yeah. Well, good. Yeah, good for her. I'm really, really glad that she hooked up with them. I think it'll be a win-win for sure. I think my bright star is just out of the field up top there. There he is. Looks like he's drifting down too, so that image doesn't look too great. And my software checks for those kinds of things too. The roundness of the star image. Now it's going down substantially. Well, not substantially, but I might bop it up just one and see how that looks. If this is still going down, yeah, okay, I'm gonna hit that up one. This tracking is just something I have to continue to work on. I don't expect perfect tracking, right? That's not for what I paid. I don't expect perfect tracking. This is a very, very narrow field of view, right? It's 12 arc minutes this way and 9 arc minutes that way. And yeah, I need to shoot this up. Otherwise I'm going to lose him on the bottom now. Yeah, well, Tim, I think the one thing that I definitely would like on a system that I have, a future system that I have, is an auto guider. But unfortunately, the setup that I have here, I can't support it. Um, yeah, it's I would pretty much have to replace everything. The camera itself does have an auto guider camera, but but there is no way for the computer that I'm using to talk to the mount. So yeah, I'm SOL as far as that goes. But that's okay. Uh, I I'm a really, really, really firm believer in actually making things that shouldn't work really, really well. In fact, I'll tell you a story, right? Because we're just collecting data out here. It's story time. So this is drifting up. Good, very good, very good. I think I want it up a little bit more. Um, I'm going to check this next image and see what it's doing, because I'd like to move it up towards the top a little bit more. It's interesting that it seems to be tracking pretty well left and right. It's just having trouble up and down. So my story is this: uh, when I was first hired on as staff at the University of Arizona, um, when I was I was in the adaptive optics group, right? So we were building a device to correct for all the atmospheric distortions that the telescope sees, and so we were building this device to do that, and we needed a way to simulate the atmosphere, right? Because we wanted to test the system, right there in the lab. And so I was tasked with a project to build an atmosphere simulator. Um, let's see which way this is going. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I was tasked with that. Okay, now at the time, um, we were working with the multiple mirror telescope, right, which is up on Mount Hopkins, just south of Tucson. And the multiple mirror telescope, as the name implies, has multiple mirrors. It had six 1.8 meter mirrors. So I'm going to try to grab 100 frames here. As you can see, I'm up to number 52. Um, so it had six mirrors, right? And so what I had to do is I had to build a device that would project um, uh, point-like images as if they're stars. Um, got a little, I got a little friend here. Um, Now, before I continue with my story, I really want to look at yeah. Hey there, Patrick. I want to look at my temperature and humidity. Hey, look, it's actually dropped. The humidity has actually dropped. It was 80%. Now it's 76%. Holy moly. We're going in the right way, boys and girls. Okay. All right. This is tracking pretty well now. So, um, so yeah, I had to build a device that would project um, a, 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 a point source image, basically a star, um, um, and actually six of these um, into our the adaptive optics device. And so it's like, okay, um, how do I, what do I have, right? Well, they said, okay, what we want you to use are um, fiber optic um, cables, that we can just shine some light through them, and that'll make the stars, and there'll be points, right? And I needed to mount these fiber optics on these voice coils, right, which are sort of the action parts of speakers, right? I mean, it's basically just a magnet that you can move with a voltage, and that voice coil could slightly move the fiber optics around, and there are mathematical equations um, that you can use to actually simulate what the actual um, um, atmosphere is doing, right? So, the setup was, pretty easy, straightforward and stuff. And then it's like, okay, well, what computers do I have? Well, we have two 286s, right? This is 1995. Um, Windows 3.1 was out. Win 95 wasn't out yet, right? Win 95, as I recall, came out sometime in the fall or the winter, and um, uh, state of the art at the time were 486s. Pentium. Well, actually, Pentiums weren't out yet. 486s were just coming out. They were insanely expensive, so we didn't have those yet. I'm gonna grab my paddle again here while it's downloading. because I'm going to have to move that star down a little bit momentarily. Pretty happy with the tracking for the most part. Let me bop him down. I think if this next one is still moving up, I'll bop him down. Yeah, okay, bang. Now, of course, you know, I do this all the time. I actually move the telescope during the exposure. So this one might show a streak. That's stupid. Oh, it didn't. Let's see if the next one does. Now this might actually move out of the frame if it's already moving upward. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, that's good. Let's see if it's stable there, and then I'll continue the story. Download time is about 14 seconds, 14.2 seconds, something like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna drop my paddle again, so I don't have to hold it. So what we had on hand, what I had on hand was two 286s, right? So somehow I had to take these 286s and control 6 voice coils at I think they wanted it to run at a kilohertz, right? Each one of them, each voice coil had to run at a kilohertz. So I had to, come up with a system that would actually run, at 6 kilohertz or faster. Ah, it's starting to drift up again. With two 286s, right? And so I came up, with my plan, and uh, presented it to the bosses, and they sort of looked at me and was like, "You think you can make that work?" And it's like, "Yeah, I think I can. I think I can." It's you know, using a 286 to do this is going to be hard, but let's see what I can do. That's what I have on hand. Let me try to get that star back in. Again, it's moved up out of the field. So I worked on this for several months, and uh, actually got it to work really, really well. Really, really well. Um, it simulated the atmosphere nicely. Come on, Mr. Star, where are you? Gonna keep moving you down. I think he's out of the field of view at the top. I hate missing frames. No, Tim, absolutely not. I'm actually sort of looking in the vicinity of Orion. This is actually in the constellation of Taurus, but the field of view here is so incredibly small that you would never see anything like an entire constellation. This field of view. Oh, I got you. Yeah, yeah. There actually are three. There's one here. There's a really faint one here, and there's another one here. Right. These three are real stars. Everything else on here is either like hot pixels on the CCD, and once in a while you'll see a cosmic ray shoot through. But no, this field of view um, is about 1/16th of the size of the full moon. Very, very, very small piece of the sky. Very, very small. That's what makes it hard, to find targets and stuff. You really have to use charts like I'm doing to do that. Now he's going to continue to move down, so I'm going to move him up one thing. This tracking is all over the place. It's driving me insane. So worked on this atmospheric simulator for a few months. Got it to work really well, really well. Um, on some pretty old school 286s that I was using. I think I was using the serial ports. I think I was running all the controls at what was it, 19,600 baud, and just sending. I think it went out the bottom. Just sending voltages out the serial ports to these voice coils, and at each one running at actually more than a kilohertz. I could do more than a kilohertz, and I actually put those two 286s in parallel too, so I could control them both from one of them, and yeah, that really helped us develop the adaptive optics system that we eventually bolted onto the MMT and ran. Okay, I'm going to move him up a little bit more. And of course, I think I did it during an exposure again. So I'm up to star or image number 91. It's not bad. I think after this, I'm going to go over to M77. I'm really curious. I've never. I don't. Oh, I guess that's not true. I think I've looked at one galaxy through this scope, and that was M104. That was, wow, that was well over a year ago or so. But other than that, I don't think that I've ever looked at a galaxy through this scope before. And that's one of the targets, target types that I want to be able to offer, is to be able, to image galaxies. So, whatever the research is, they can get the data they need, right? I'm gonna move him up again, I think. So that's not too bad. I think I've lost about maybe 10 or 15 images here, so maybe I'll go over a little bit just for fun. So the bottom line there, and what I learned from that, is that if you can make sort of a substandard system work really well, then when you upgrade, right? Um, after a couple of months of this, I was able to upgrade the entire system to a 486, right? A 486 that was running at, I think, like 400 megahertz or something. It was just insanely screaming fast. And when I put, um, you know, all my code onto that and actually got it running, I actually had to throttle it down because it was just running. I mean, I can't say it was running too well, but it was just running way too fast, right? I mean, it was making everything go way too fast. So I had to slow everything down um, in order to make it all work. So I'm going to move this up a little bit again, but I'm pretty happy with what that looks like. Pretty happy. The one thing that would be really nice if I could auto guide is that I could take much longer exposures, right? If I take an exposure longer than 1 or 2 seconds, I start to get a drift, and that's not good data, right? The data sucks. But this is okay because what I can do, right, is I can stack all of these. And stacking is exactly the same thing as taking a long exposure. So No problem. So we're up to 104, which means there's actually 105 images there. It starts at 0. So we'll go a few more, and then I want to move over to M77. And then I'm going to probably move back over to my target stars here. So we'll take a few more of these. Put the paddle down. It looks like it's stable at the moment. So yeah, there's my target. And there's a little guy here, and there's a little guy right here. Kind of hard to see, even for me. So, but once these are stacked, um, they'll pop out, and in fact, I can see 16th or 17th magnitude stars when I stack them. The signal to noise. The signal to noise isn't all that great on those faint guys, but the signal to noise of this guy will be just beautiful. I'd like to take a longer exposure, but I can't. So I deal with what I've got, and like I said, this doing it this way is going to allow me to be all that much better when and if I'm able to upgrade. But that's not too bad. That's not too bad. And the seeing isn't too terrible. The stars are definitely twinkling. Um, the other night it was just fabulous. The stars were not twinkling at all. And I'm looking at Betelgeuse and Capella, and they're twinkling along. So yeah, not too bad though. Not too bad. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this to go to like 119, which means there'll be 120 total images. So maybe 7 more pictures, and then I'm going to move over to M77 and see what we can do. See what we can do over there. Because, like I said, except for a very very brief glimpse of Messier 104, this system has never seen a galaxy. So M77 will be one of the first. M77, just a few months ago, there was actually a supernova seen in it, and um, I don't think, I'm pretty sure it's not visible now, but I basically just want to collect some, recon data. I want to see what it looks like. I want to see, what it looks like stacked, and hopefully, be able to do some science with that too. So we will see. We will see. So I'm up to 116. This will be 117. A couple more. And that'll be that. We can actually look here and make sure that I've got my data. Should all be called star. Yep, star 1. Yeah, good. Okay, it's all there. Yay. So I think this is the last one I'm going to do. Should be 119. Yep, that's it. All right, well, let's move over to M77. So for that, I do have a finder chart for that. So I'll pull him up. Now, this isn't showing the galaxy, right? The galaxy is actually centered on this box, right? And again, this box is my field of view. So when I move the telescope, it's hopefully going to be somewhere around here. And I'll go through the same exercise. I'll look for a pattern of stars and then move around until I get to right there. All right, so that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so back. Go to the Messier catalog. And go 077 and whammo. Okay. And, you know, I intentionally chose this because it's in the sky and it's relatively close and, you know, yada, yada, yada. Dang it, I did that again. So I'm going to change my binning back to 3x3. And I'm going to turn the autosave off. And I might as well change all this now. M77. And I'll set this back to 0. Okay, keep the red light on. But autosave I'm going to turn off for right now because we need to find the sucker first. So here we go. Ooh, I see a fuzzy. We might be really, really close here, boys and girls. Wouldn't that be dandy? I see something fuzzy over there. I'll show you. Zoom in here. Yes, it is, Patrick. It is a go-to drive. I do not recommend a go-to drive if you're new to astronomy and just learning things, you know, learning how to navigate and stuff. I'm in a different mode here, where I'm trying to collect science data. Is that him? I think it is. Wow, he's bright. Much brighter than what I thought it was going to be. Wow, he is bright. Sweet. So the tracking is really nice too. So I'm going to put him right in the middle. Although I really do now, you know, with a 3x3 binning, everything does look a little bit brighter. But wow, that thing's really tracking well. Gee whiz. Well, let's go to 1x1. Wow, I don't even have to find this silly thing. Ah, witnessing a miracle. We like miracles. Okay, so here's 1x1. So it'll be a little bit fainter, but you definitely should be able to see it. 3x3 binning, you know, adds up pixels and makes things brighter than what they seem. But yeah, there it is. Cool. Zoom out for you here. So yeah, there he is right there. Groovy. So that's the first, that's technically, you know, the first time that I've ever gone for a galaxy that I want to actually target. So let's see how the tracking is here. It's not too bad. Okay. I'm going to go for it. And I'm actually going to set the number of, come on, mouse, to 100. And autosave on. And here we go. So there's M77 down here. You can see it, a little fuzzy. Hopefully it's still in the field of view. Yeah, okay. Cool. Well, that was pretty easy. So yeah, I'll just take a bunch of these. Take 100 of these. So yeah, you know, that's about it. Scroll back almost an hour in the chat for updating. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I guess Ata is just really, really busy, which is not a bad thing. definitely not a bad thing. Tracking is a little funky. Tracking is a little funky. 1 second exposures. It's not too bad though. Just let this go. I've got the galaxy and two stars in here, so this one and that one. So that's not too bad. There was another star up here, sort of out of field. Maybe I'll move him back down so we can get that last one. There's a little bit of drifting. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, this is sort of the first time that I've really taken any, at least so-called science data of a galaxy. So we'll see how these turn out. Don't really know what to expect. Well, you know, Patrick, some people retire and then some people retire. And Atta sounds to me definitely like one of those that you know, stops doing one thing and starts doing 5 or 6 other things. So, all right, pretty cool. I'd like to move the galaxy down a little bit. I did push the down button, but oh yeah, okay, it did. Down. Let's see if it continues that trend down. Hopefully not too much. I'd like to get that bright star right at the top to come in a little bit more, but he's not going to. But no, I can deal with this. I can definitely deal with this. Yeah, gorgeous. Very nice. Well, we'll see if it's gorgeous or not. I'm not here to take pretty pictures. That's not my goal. My goal is to collect photons and count them and measure the positions of things. And in the case of galaxies, right, I'll be able to get a size and a shape and a profile, right? I'll actually be able to you know, go from like the center of the galaxy out and, you know, do a little profile plot to see how the brightness changes as a function of radius. And hopefully with some stacked images there might be some features that I might be able to see. For instance, I don't remember exactly what M77 looks like, but to me, what I'm seeing right here is that this side is a little darker than this side. So I don't know if you could really see that on the screen, on your screen or not, but so I don't know if I don't remember if there's a dark lane that goes through that. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember. And tracking isn't too bad. Tracking is not too bad. 1 by 1 binning, 1 second exposures. I'm going to while this is going, I'm extremely paranoid, right? So I like to actually go and look and see if I've got files. Yeah. Okay, very good. This is a pretty bright galaxy too. I don't remember exactly what the magnitude is, but it's I want to say it's like 8th or 9th magnitude. So I mean it's pretty bright, pretty bright. And you know, those magnitude estimates or measurements are sort of the combined magnitude of everything, right? All the fuzz and everything else. So, the nucleus here, the center part, um, is probably, substantially fainter than eighth or ninth, right? It's probably 10th or 11th, right? Just or fainter than that, judging from, comparing like these two stars. And I think this guy, don't quote me, but I think that star there might be, like 11th or 12th. Um, the uh, the software auto stretches the image, so you really can't uh, trust what you see on this screen too much. It's just giving you a basic idea, right? So there's a cosmic ray up here, and I'm gonna look at the chat. Yeah, Tim, I noticed that you posted a few videos today, and I haven't had a chance to check them out yet, but I definitely will. Uh, cool, cool, very cool. She's on a world cruise, huh? 41 years. Yeah. Well, Patrick, what I say is that work is doing things that you'd rather not do. Um, uh, and I'm very blessed to say that I've barely worked at all. I've usually, most jobs that I've had have been really fun, and thoroughly enjoyed it, and was actually, shocked and surprised that, you know those people were crazy enough to actually pay me, to do what I was doing. Yeah, it wasn't really work. Not really. Sometimes it was. Sometimes it wasn't. Right? I I would say, um, yeah, very little actual work, which is, one of those four-letter words. So we're up to image number 33. I'm definitely going to go for 100 here. Sure. You know, really, that's only a um, 100 seconds of data, right? Most of what I'm doing here is waiting for these images to download over my parallel port. So one of these um, full frame images takes about 14.2 seconds or so to download. So I have 1 second of exposure and then 14 seconds of download. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And some work just has to be done, right? And that's the work part. The drudgery part. Um, but you know, it all has to be done. So there's my nice bright star up here back for what it's worth. I'm getting a little bit of drift with these star images. I'm not really seeing, and I know that's kind of hard to see on the screen here, but they aren't really round. And that's going to mess things up a little bit. But yeah, no worries. I'm just gonna let this crank and crank. It's actually, I'm not I don't have my hands on the paddle at all. So, it's just sort of drifting around in the field of view here a little bit, and I am happy to let it do that. Happy to let it do it. This, this data set here, um, in particular, is a little bit of recon, right? I just want to get a sufficient amount to sort of um, see what it looks like, right? I really don't know what to expect. Um, but yeah, it is drifting during the 1 second exposures, which is a little painful, but um, yeah, I'll be able to deal with that in the software. Those kinds of things really aren't a huge deal when you're collecting photons, right? If I was trying to take a pretty picture, this would all be garbage, right? But I'm collecting photons, right? So I don't really care if, you know, not necessarily if, you know, this star is a nice round thing or if it's a streak, even if it's out of focus. I don't care because I'm collecting photons. Now, I would like it to be a nice round star and, in focus and everything, just because. Um, but in terms of counting photons, doesn't matter all that much. I mean, I want to maximize signal to noise, so I don't want to spread the photons out too much. But as I said, this is sort of a recon data set here. Excuse me. So I'm not too worried about the the quality of these things, and all of this is gonna you know um, help me learn how to do the next um, data set better. So cool. All right. Well, look, I've been going for an hour and a half on this live stream, and let's do a check of the weather conditions out here. Uh-oh. So we're back up to 81%, 36 degrees Fahrenheit. So the humidity is going up a little bit. Um, I'm thinking as long as it stays, as long as it doesn't go up anymore, I think I should be all right. So I'm just gonna keep going. It's early here, right? I mean, local time it's only 8:24 Mountain Standard Time. So yeah, as far as I know, Patrick, there isn't any. I'm not gonna look now because I don't want to blast my camera. But I think at 81%, I think I am good. I think I'm all right there. Probably what I'll do after these 100 images is I'll I'll get up and take a look. I'm going to move the galaxy up a little bit. Just a little bit. I probably moved it too much and messed the whole thing up, but we'll see. Should see it in this next image if it moved. We will see. We will see. I moved it up a little bit. Let's see if it goes up a little bit more. If it doesn't go up a little bit more, I might give it another little nudge. Okay, it moved up a little bit more. Now, that's about where I want it. So if it moves up any more, I'm going to have to push it down. It does on this next image. And then I think I'm going to let you all go. It says my battery power is at 15% anyway. Okay, it looks like that's pretty stable. Looks pretty stable. Stars. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. Oh, where's my chat? There's my chat. Yeah, Patrick, that's exactly what I think too. Is that what is going on? Here's the explanation. Okay, uh, you know, everything we hear about a particular is absolutely not true. During the winter months here, um, it's it rains and snows, and we can easily reach the dew point at night, right? In fact, just a few days ago, we were down really close to single digits Fahrenheit here. Now I'm in the high desert. I'm at about 4,700 feet or so. And I also live in the bottom of a valley. So all the cold air sinks, right onto me. All that cold, wet air just jumps right on me. So, but that's what happens during the winter, right? Yesterday, uh, here until 1:30 in the afternoon. Now that's extremely unusual, but it happens, right? So yeah, these deserts are supposed to be dry. I totally agree, and most of the time they are. But sometimes, like this, especially if I want to observe, the conditions just plummet. So, all right. Well, you know what? I am going to let you all go. So thanks for coming in and watching here. It's these probably aren't the most exciting live streams, um, but this is how it's going to be. If the live stream and the OBS session um, um, are going to happen at the same time, then I'm going to do them at the same time. And I will definitely try, to let everybody know, either through the Discord or Twitter, or I'll try to come, like I did, today on YouTube a couple hours in advance, and sort of, uh, um, give you some kind of warning, that I'm going to be doing this, and then, you can choose if you want to um, get on that night or not. You know, because yeah, I mean this uh, watching this is probably not incredibly exciting, and excitement is sort of a relative term. So, all right, well, Tim, I am glad that you came. Glad you hung out for a while here. And like I said, I think I'm going to let everybody go. I'm going to be out here. Who knows? I don't know. As long as I want to. I think I do have. Yeah, I do have some clouds to my south, and I know that all the clouds are moving sort of towards the northeast. So don't know how much longer I'm going to have. I might run in and look at the weather plot, the satellite view, just to sort of see what that looks like. Um, I'm going to give you one more show of the conditions out here. Oh, haven't changed. 81%, and I'm up to image number 76. So I've got a few more images to go with M77, and then I'm probably going to fly back over and do at least a couple more of my target stars, my bright target stars. So, all right, you guys and gals, I will see you later. I don't know what the weather's going to be like the rest of the week. I think we're supposed to get clouds again, but I can't be sure about that. So, yeah, just check in, over the Discord, um, and I'll try to keep you updated. But I always plan, on doing a regular live stream, back in the office. Um, but if it's clear, I'm going to be out here. So that's just how it's going to be for a while. So, all right. I think that's it. So thanks everybody for coming in. Have a great evening, a great day, and I will see you again in a little less than, well, what, 22 hours and 28 minutes from now. It's now 3:32 UTC. So go to bed, Tim. All right, everybody. Take care. I will see you